Hey everyone, I am Samantha Tiara and welcome to another episode of Chats. So the saying goes that, you're always just one decision away from changing your life. And that is exactly the case with my guest today. I have the amazing Mr. Tevin Studdard. I know we talked a little off camera.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how you say it, but I'll let you introduce yourself of how you say it.
Oh yeah, Tevin Studdard checking in once again. Excited to be here on Chats.
Thank you so much, Desi. I would have probably messed that up. No, but thank you.
Yeah.
So, Tevin, it is absolutely a pleasure being able to interview you actually live here in your domain in Wish TV. So, thank you so much for opening up the doors. It's always appreciated. So, I want to go back to the very beginning that you're always just one step away or one decision away. With you, it started with Longs Donuts in that video. Let's talk a little bit about that. How did that, come to fruition? I mean, you've gone viral with it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so it was 2020. I was actually I was working in a warehouse in Greenwood, and I ended up going home because I was like having like heart palpitations. Like I was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, and then I just knew my body, and I was like, I got to go to the hospital, and I went to the hospital, and I was just laying on that bed, and it was during COVID and the pandemic, so I was just there with just myself. And it was like, man, if you were to check out right now, are you content with what you've done in life? And at that time, I wasn't. And I just remember hearing that Long's Bakery, it had been shut down during the pandemic. And I heard that it was opening. So I was like, I just made a status like, I'm going to be the first person in line. And by Thursday evening, I was like, you know what? I should really write a song for Long's. What do I got to lose? So I end up writing one. I called my producer. I'm like, man, we got to get in the studio tonight. He's like, can it be tomorrow? I was like, nah, we got to go tonight. So we get into the studio. It's 10:40, and somebody's like, oh, I have a session at 11. I'm like, bro, all I need is the rest of the time. So I record for 5 minutes, and he mixes and masters it in 10, 15 minutes. I called my videographer. I'm like, bro, meet me outside Long's Bakery at 5:30 in the morning. He didn't know what it was. It was kind of like some Keenan and Kel stuff. Yeah, just gonna be there. So we wait in line for an hour. We filmed the video from about 6:30 to 8. We edit, put it on there, put it on the internet at 9 o'clock. By like 9:05, like 9:15, it was like viral.
Wow.
And it just kept growing into a life of its own. Like I predicted it would do 100,000, then it started doing 200,000, 300,000, 4, 5, 6, 8. I was like, whoa, it's crazy. Yeah.
Nice. When I saw the video, the first thing I did, of course, was I had to make a trip to Long. So,
Yeah.
it's definitely a neighborhood spot. So speaking of music obviously is in your blood.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about your big cousin, Ruben. I know you talk a
Yeah.
lot about Ruben Studdard, on your social media, but, he's in your family. How was it, when he won American Idol? Like, what did that do to you just personally? And
Yeah.
how did that sort of help you evolve your music career from there, just from just seeing him?
So I was in the 4th grade when he won, and my teacher told our whole class that he was gonna lose. So I came back in class talking crazy that next day. I got kicked out of class, but it was probably the only time I got kicked out where I didn't get a whipping for it. And my parents were like, all right, this is justifiable. But it showed me that I could be greater and I could go farther than the influences that were around me. Like growing up in the city, I saw a lot of violence. I saw cousins get shot, and so it was like to see somebody that was in my family on TV, and like to this day he's the only black man to win American Idol, and just to see how that one decision changed his life, it was like, man, I can really do something greater. I didn't have an excuse anymore. A lot of people, they don't see any signs of hope, so they're like, oh man, I don't see any signs, but it's like, oh, you see in the sign, and you're related to this sign. So it's like, all right, I can really felt like I could do anything from that point.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Now, I want to switch gears really quickly because we're going to go back to that topic, but I want to talk a little bit about the things that you do in the community with helping. I mean, you've helped over 1,000 minority-owned businesses by doing vending events throughout the city. Can you talk a little bit about how did that come about and what's the plans going forward?
Yeah, so with that, we've had, like you said, thousands of small black-owned businesses throughout Indy, and just wanting for them to maximize their profits and to bring them traffic. We were at Washington Square Mall at first, but I've shifted over to high school right now, Next Generation High School, just to make that even more affordable for people. Right now, they're vending at $10, and now they can maximize their profit. Like gas is some dollars. So I haven't seen them, unless it's free, I haven't seen a vendor event at my cost with my traffic. So it's all about just, hey, the ball was in my court. I brought as many people to Wish as possible, and I tried to increase as many people's pockets as possible.
I love that. I love it. Always looking out for the community.
Definitely.
That's what's up, and that's what it's supposed to be about. And speaking of Wish, because we are here at Wish TV, you also have your own podcast, going back to 1,000 minority-owned businesses, interviewing, helping with vending and all that. Let's talk a little bit about the podcast. Would you say that the vending is sort of, or the podcast, I should say, maybe is an extension from the vending events that you've done?
Yeah, so the podcast was a situation where a lot of my videos went viral, and they wanted me to just have one and talk about my life and my experiences in India. And I was like, no, I want this to be about other people. So with making it about other people, I knew it would last and it would sustain and it would be kind of fulfilling and rewarding. So with that, it was kind of a mixture of different kind of people we were interviewing at first, and then just kind of business owners kind of just took over because they wanted that exposure. So it was just, I think we are like 1,500 black creatives since April of 2021. And I know that's more black people that's going to come through here in a decade. Like, they haven't had that many black people come through. So it's about, hey, again, the ball's in your court. Like, what will you do for others? We had an opportunity. My friend has a nonprofit in Evansville, and we went to about 20 hoods throughout NAP, filled up an entire 26-foot U-Haul, and we passed out toys to the kids. So it's all about what you do with your platform.
Absolutely. Going back to that one decision.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to go back to something you said a little bit earlier about Next Generation High School. So can you talk a little bit more about that and what your role is with the school and how you're inspiring students even there?
Definitely. So they're a charter school in Indianapolis, so originally based in Gary. They have schools in Baton Rouge and now here, and working with the kids, doing everything from podcasts to filming a video a day, and just kind of like bringing awareness to what they have going on. They offer, kids can take college classes while in high school, so they just had a 13-year-old get his associate's degree.
Wow.
And a 15-year-old get his associate's as well. So by the time the 15-year-old is 18, he'll have his bachelor's and graduate high school with that debt-free. And then by the time the 13-year-old is 15, he'll have his bachelor's. And by the time he's 18, he'll have his master's, completely paid off in school. So that was just kind of something that I wanted to be a part of, giving inner city kids the opportunity to advance themselves through education.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And, you know, you said something really important that stuck out, being able to finish school debt-free. A lot of us in our communities, we don't know what that's like. So to be able to have that experience as a 13 and 15-year-old, I think that's a really amazing thing. So I want to go back to the entrepreneurship. I mean, everything that you touch, I mean, it goes viral. The Long's Bakery video is just part of that. You've done a lot. You've done jingles, promo videos. I know offline we was talking a little bit about, you know, you making a video. Is there a project or something that's been the most fun that you've enjoyed doing?
The most fun? Whew. That's a tough one right there, because I've done so many and had a lot of fun in a lot of videos. I say a recent one I did for Mama's Kitchen was pretty fun. But then I did another one for Press Play Gaming Lounge. That was fun. I just did one yesterday with Whiskey and Rhythm. That was fun. So
nice.
It just depends on the day, because I work with so many and do so many fun videos.
And you probably do a lot of cool stuff on camera and
Yeah.
just, that is definitely what's up. So I want to go back again to the top of the interview. You was talking a little bit about, how you grew up. You grew up, on the east side. Shout out to the east side. I grew up on the east side as well,
Yeah.
too. So let's talk a little bit about that, kind of knowing how you grew up, the east side, you've got the zip code 46218.
Hmm.
I know you've got some charts out there about it. Can you talk a little bit about what are some changes that you hope to bring to the neighborhoods that you grew up in, even the surrounding neighborhoods as well?
Definitely, I want to drive traffic to their businesses to increase it, and so the environment can flourish. Like you saw a lot of violent things happen with certain business owners and certain things, but it was like now I'm in a position to bring a positive light to everything that's around me, and really like I don't know. I feel like finances is a way we can almost set ourselves free. Like we're not looking for no handouts, no this. We're gonna support our own businesses and flourish as a result, and make others come to our community to spend money. And that's been something very exciting. Like on the east side, I went to 110. Uh, I seen so much on all the schools. Now I'm in a position to
To help.
help all these people. Came up in Boys and Girls Club. I led the league in travels. And so now it's like you got a chance to just really help a place that was a part of molding you. So I talked to amazing individuals from my street who've done phenomenal things, like Landon Turner. He went to IU and won a national championship with Isaiah Thomas. A guy named Blaine Bishop. He played for the Houston Oilers and Tennessee Titans, and now he's doing ESPN radio in Nashville. So it's like there's a lot of examples of positive people. So just shedding light on those individuals, it'll inspire the next kid, the next Tevin, the next Landon, the next Blaine Bishop.
Absolutely. I love it. So going back to, the neighborhood, there's a lot of violence that is going on in our communities. And you said something that really is making me think, specifically to businesses, to Black-owned businesses in our communities. What do you think are some of the root causes of that violence, and how do you think we can kind of help that?
I think definitely poverty is a big cause of the violence, because I don't have something, so I'm going to go take it from somebody. So I feel like when resources are adequately dispersed, yes, you're going to always have greedy people, but when there's more money being flown through, I'm not so busy looking at my neighbor's plate or what they have, because I want, basically I'm getting blessed. So when I even say the violence attacking business owners, I grew up specifically on 30th in Baltimore, and there was a barbershop there, and he had to close his doors because they got robbed so much. And it's just like, as a kid, you seeing that, and you basically, that almost puts fear into all these other business owners. Why would I want to start a business there if I could get robbed? But now it's like, all right, I'm in a position where I can bring so much light and so much positivity. Like, not saying I can stop everything or do everything, but it's like you bringing so much light to that place and so much attention. It's like it's gonna make somebody think twice. Like, all right, that's gonna be on the news. That's gonna be this. That's gonna be that. Yeah, it's just not another. It's just not all right another thing. And it's like, yo, we're not gonna take from us. We're gonna build ourselves up collectively.
I love that. We gotta build ourselves up collectively. And again, it goes back to the top of the interview, just making that one decision to be able to do that. So I want to switch gears. You talked a little bit about sports and those that you kind of grew up with, announcing sports. Can you talk a little bit about your love for sports and how that journey has kind of been for you, how you kind of got into that a little bit?
Definitely. So I started playing football at Crispus Attucks Middle School. From there, I ended up getting a scholarship to play at Cathedral. And while there, it's like I feel like a lot of kids have dreams of going to the NFL or doing something like that. But Cathedral's a place where it's like, man, 5 of my teammates end up going to the NFL.
Wow.
So it's like you're seeing like who's who in high school, and you're like, I might not be that good enough to go. I'm as good enough to get here, but I don't think I'm good enough to go to that level. So it's kind of like, all right, let me take my love for sports and music and combine them. So during my senior year of high school, I did a song for our team. They played it at our games, and someone on the other team started rapping it. So I was like, I can do this for other teams. So I ended up my senior year of high school doing an official song for the Indiana Fever, performing at their games. Was now Gamebridge Fieldhouse now, and even shifting from there, I went to about 100 colleges in 33 states doing theme songs. So everywhere from USC, Nebraska, Florida State,
Wow.
Ohio State, Baylor, just colleges all over the country. And I still got 17 more to go, but I'm going to do it until I done one in every state.
Nice. Well, I'm going to give a quick plug because I'm hoping my alma mater is a part of that.
Yeah, who was
State.
that?
So I'm just.
Oh, yeah, ISU. So ISU is actually the first college I did a song for.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go back and check that out. So.
Yeah, I actually performed at homecoming game my freshman year at ISU.
Nice. I got to give a quick shout out to Indiana State. They made me wine today.
Yeah. I love the Sycamores, but
yeah.
I actually got in trouble at ISU.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that on camera.
No, but
we'll save that one.
It helped me though. So I performed at homecoming game, and then they messed up my mic, so it was like a delay. So I kind of I was young, 18, full of myself, and I let the athletic director know where he could go and how he could get there. So they banned me from performing at any other athletic event at Indiana State. And from there, it's like, man, I still had this gift. So that's what kind of like got me out of my shell to perform for other teams across. So it was actually like a blessing in disguise. Like getting in trouble there, and it opened up the doors. So now I'm around the nation. Like,
wow.
Even as of the pandemic year, I did a song for the University of South Carolina. So they were the #1 women's basketball team in the nation. And now they just end up winning the national championship. And I'm like, man, I did a song for them.
Yeah.
And they won a national championship. And they were like the 4th or 5th team that I did a song for. So University of Minnesota women's hockey, they won a national championship. I did a song for them their season. Penn State volleyball, I was doing a song for them their season. Of course, University of South Carolina. And it was like 3 or 4 different sports, which I was doing in that. Texas, I did a rowing song. Like, I would rap about anything. Like,
wow.
row your boat. Like, they had me on a boat rapping. It was crazy. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, you've done a lot, but that's a really interesting story to know that kind of started kind of
Indiana State.
That's kind of cool
salute.
to kind of know that, to your point, that was sort of like that blessing in disguise there. So that is what's up. So, I mean, you've done a lot of projects. Your biggest project coming up is you're about to be a dad.
Yes.
So congratulations in advance. I guess my main question, in regards to that is, what do you hope to teach your son, as your son, starts life and, grows up, what do you hope to teach your son?
To be a man of understanding, slow to anger, slow to wrath, have a vision, eliminate distractions, outwork everybody. Know that I'm going to love him unconditionally and support him in whatever he desires to do, and just to be better than me, go further, go farther. Yeah, it's gonna have a lot of you're gonna have a lot of, it could be a lot of pressure with me being your pops, but just know that, like, I'm not your competition. I'm on your side. I want to use all this to further you. Like, we have a big project coming when he touches that.
I was getting ready to touch on that. Like, I can't wait to see, what's gonna happen. So I guess you guys heard it here first. So
definitely first. You heard it.
So I'm excited about that. Tevin, we've touched on a lot of opportunities to change your life, from, loans to doing the jingles, to the sports, all of that. What else do you have coming up?
Man, it's so much. Like, can't say too much, but come August, there's a lot going on, from tours with sports and college universities, and as far as restaurants around the country, I've been doing a lot of restaurant raps that have been picking up steam across the country, and for my little man TJ. So there's a lot of things in the works for his arrival.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
And I guess, let me just ask, how do you find time? I mean, you're busy. I mean,
Yeah.
we've talked about how many interviews you've done and just constantly,
Yeah.
being the face of the community. How do you find time to just be Tevin and kind of chill out a little bit?
It's just that balance, because you do too much, you get burnt out. You don't want to be like a candle burning at both ends. But just going home, being quote unquote regular, just all right, put your phone down, just chill. Like, and I feel like those are the refueling, recharging times. Because when you're out, you're gonna be recognized. You're gonna be
Yep.
expected to do so many things. So home is kind of like that peace where it's like, all right, put the phone down, just relax, work out, and spend time with God in church, like just time with my Bible, time just reflecting. And I think that's a big thing. I got like notebooks right now, and they're all different colored. And my girlfriend was like, "Why are you getting all these different colored notebooks?" And I'm like, I need them for my balance. Like, okay, red notebook is like reflective of my health. All right, what are you eating? What are you working out? What are you doing? Green is like money. All right, what's this? Black is just for my people. All right, what can you do for your people in this vision? And then like blue, I think was for TJ. It's like, how you gonna do this with your son? Pink is for my girl. Like, all right, think of things to help her and whatever she wants to do. And it's just like finding that balance to give each one of those things time
Right.
to make the circle and the wheel keep going.
Exactly. Listen, fellas, he just put y'all on some game, and I don't
Yeah.
even know if y'all realized it just yet.
Yeah.
He got a whole notebook just specifically dedicated to his lady. That is very, very, very wonderful for you to do that. That is
Yeah.
very, very wonderful. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure she appreciates it as well.
Definitely.
Tevin, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you here live in your space. How can the folks follow you, stay up to date with you?
Yeah, so they can follow me at Tevin Studdard on Twitter. I got like 3 Facebook pages. Instagram is, I think, The Tevin Studdard Show or Tevin Studdard Show, one of those. And then I've got a LinkedIn, Tevin Studdard. And yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, yeah, all of that stuff. YouTube, I'm sure if you just type in Tevin Studdard on Google, something gonna pop up.
Love it. Well, again, thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate it here at Chats. I've appreciated this opportunity talking with you. To our audience, make sure that you hit that like, subscribe button. I'm your host, Samantha Tiara, and I am officially checking out right now. So until the next episode, take care.
Peace.